my daughters is ended up with been using a drugs, smoking and drinking. So you can imagine how hard the life is that I face for being a single mom. Like nobody wanted to help me. Hello everyone, welcome again to my YouTube channel, Momo Daily Life here. Hey good people, how are you all out there? I hope you all doing good, and I hope you all are doing a great things today, and I'm here also good. And thank you everyone for supporting me all the way here. And good people, as you all see on my thumbnails, that I wanted to tell the story about being a single mom for over 24 years and the struggling that I face every day, and problem that I face every day. So people, before you all follow my story and or watching my video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and please smash the notification bell, so whenever I upload a new video you all can watch first. Thank you. So good people, here is my story. People, I have my youngest brothers and my eldest brother, so I'm in the middle. I'm the middle child, and we three, like my eldest brothers already stay with my grandparents since he's a baby, so only me and my youngest brothers who stay with my mom. So we actually grown up with this kind of situation, that very messy family. Every day we walk up, we see my moms and they always fight each other, like argue each other, hit each other. And my father is a very strict father. He always beat me, he always beat my moms, and my youngest brothers was his apple child in his eyes, that he loved my brothers most. And every day is like that, you know. My father is a gambler, my father is always drunk, and my father's don't like to go to work. So my moms who support this family, my mom can selling a vegetable in the market, my mom can sell anything just to support this family. So we are really rely on my mom's every day. And you know, that's kind of situation that I really can't even see the happiness in this kind of family. I just think why I'm very different from other people from other family. They are really have a good family, good father, and they are really love each other. But we are not. We are not that kind of family. And actually, my mom's and my father's is being, you know, my grandparents is, you know, disagree when my mom's married with my father, but the two of them just carry on, because called blind love. So they are to, like, you know, falling in love in each other, like don't wanted to listen to advice from my grandma and grandpa. So till I grown up, like in the secondary school, I cannot make a friend with a boy, I cannot make friend with any girl. So you have to be stay at home when you just go to school. I just go to school, come back from school, have to do housework for the young age. Until I'm secondary, my father's always treat me like, you know, whenever I make mistake, a little bit mistake, I get hit by my father. And my mother's who always side me always get beaten by my father. So like, oh dear, why I have such a messy family, and my father really doing that kind of things in our eyes. So you know, I grown up with this kind of character, that I have to be strong, and I grown up like, oh okay, I grown up in this kind of situation that I see my mom is like that and my father is like that. I really hit the man, like, oh my gosh, like, okay, like, I promised to myself that I said after I finished my secondary school, I really wanted to walk out from this kind of situation. I wanted to be free myself. I wanted to do what I like. I wanted to do like what other child get to do every day, not being punished, like not being beaten by my father. So after that moment, I was telling my mom's mom, after I finish my secondary school, can you please buy my ticket? I'm going back to the city in Manado. By that time, we still stay in the village. So I just telling my mom, I'm not going to continue to study. Like, I cannot stay here anymore. That I really like stay in the jail. Like, I don't want this kind of situation. So until I finished secondary school, my mom really buying me a ticket, and I go to the city. It's Manado now, who I live with my family. So in my mind, like, okay, I'm not going to come back here before I get married. That is in my mind. So like, actually, I want a freedom. So I wanted to do what I want. That is my mind, because by that time I still very, so small, like, So I follow my brothers in the city until I stay in my auntie's house, and I decide that my auntie already registered me to schools. Then I ran away. I said, I'm not going to study anymore. I'm going to work. I wanted to find my own money. I wanted to find my own happiness. Until one moment that I meet up with this man, and he's much older than me. So I think if I get married with this man, I think that my problem will solve, and he can protect me. He can take responsibility on me. So I just carry on with my own mind, that I never even ask my parents, that I never go back until I leave. I mean, from the moment I leave my place, my city, sorry, my village, I never return back until I meet up with this man. And he said, okay, he wanted to take responsibility. I was so happy that, okay, I can find my own happiness. But actually, that moment is only for a moment that I feel that kind of, this kind of happiness. And then after we being together, we being a husband and wife, and he told me that after that I get pregnant. Then I have with my first child, my first daughter. I have two daughters. So now they are 26 years old and 24 years old. So once my first daughter birthday first year, and then he told me that he wanted to go to other part of Indonesia, not overseas, sorry. It's other part of Indonesia, and he said he wanted to walk there. So I agree. Okay. And before he fly there, I actually already pregnant for the second girls. So after he fly there, we never in contact each other actually. And like, I only hear the info from my mother's-in-law and say, oh, your husband is calling. Last time we still don't have a phone, we don't have a house phone. So when we wanted to call each other, we have to go to another place to call each other. So by that moment, wow, that is feel like, okay, maybe I just relax my own. Until I already, pregnant, I almost give birth to my second. My husband never send money, even a cent. So I just struggling. I become a maid there. I I just do a work, like, you know, you can imagine I'm a teenager. I really, you know, I'm really married early, very early. So being a single mom in this young age, like I see my old friends like going to university, I struggling with, you know, with two children once, that like almost giving birth. So I just don't know what to do, you know. And like, you know, you can imagine what is my situation at that moment, that I don't know what to do. So I just going work with family there, can earn money for my child and for my family, like, you know, really struggling until I give birth. Then I have to really have to take responsibilities, big responsibility, because I got two children now. And then nobody wants you, my goodness me. Who can take you in with two children without a father? You know, my husband left me without any words, like, you know, he just don't care about me and my two children, like, okay. And my family, we are very poor family, and how can they support me if we are really came from the poor family? So I have to really, you know, I have to struggling by my own. I have to really raise my two children in young age. Is I still teenager, you know. And life goes on until my second daughter. I give birth to my second daughter, and I have to really struggling. And I don't wanted to cry in front of my family. I don't wanted to cry in front of my children. I pretend that I'm very strong. I can without you all. And all the gossiping is come, all the gossiping about me, about my family, being I'm, you know, like, okay, you have children, got two children, and your husband left you, that means you must blah 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 blah, because so many things I hear. But I just follow it. I just, maybe this is my fate to being like that, until um, my elders are really going to school. So I decide to, you know, come to Singapore. Like I said, okay, I wanted to go to Singapore. So 2001 I fly here from Indonesia to Singapore. By that time I'm 24 years old, and you know, we are have nothing, like we are got no house, got no everything, you know. We just go to another auntie to stay, you know, like that. So like our life is like that. So you know, you all can imagine how being rejected by other people, and you left nothing. You have nothing. You got no house, you got no money, you got no everything. That moment really gave me a wake up calling, that okay, you are cannot be always depend to other people. Until I decided come here, and I started to save money, and I build my own place right now that my moms and my children staying. And I mean, the problem is not end there until my two children grown up. Like, you know, you can imagine how your feeling being separate with your children for such a long time. I separate with my own children. It's already 20 years, you know, that I working in Singapore. So I never see my two children grown up. They are grown up with their grandma. They are, I mean, since they know that their grandma who raised them, they know that I'm their mom, but you know, I'm not there with them, like their graduation from their school, I'm not there. Their birthday, I'm not there. Everything they do, I'm not there. So that is actually hurting my feeling. But I have no choice. I have to really work for this family until my two children grown up, a teenager, and my youngest daughter, you know, You know, like in the city, you make a friend, either you met up with the wrong person or either good person. It's only two way. So my youngest daughter meet up with the wrong people, and you know, in relationship with one boy that actually is taking a drug, you know, smoking and drink. So my daughters is ended up with been using a drugs, smoking and drinking. So you can imagine how hard the life is that I face for being a single mom. Like nobody wanted to help me, nobody wanted to really, I can rely on like me. I don't know who I wanted to turn in. I just being myself and only have my mom who taking care of my two children, and I'm here. And you know, like what you going on with your life if you're taking a drugs, you are drinking, you are smoking. Like, hey girls, I'm not like that. Even though your father left me like that, but I mean, I never go to that kind of situation. I don't wanted to make a friend with those kind of people, like, you know, bring you to the bad company. So like really, you know, when I hear that my daughter's taking a drugs, like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I really very strict mom, to be honest, because you know, I raised them too with my own. So I really have to be a strict dad, and I can be their friend, but you know, when you make mistake, I have to really. So you know, that kind of situation is very messy. Then I don't know what to do because I'm very far away, and I don't know who that I wanted to ask them to help me. I got no one to turn in. I don't know what to do. So you know, I went back home for two weeks holidays, and that moment really, I was really in the bottom of my life. Like, oh gosh, I really, like, I don't know what to do, until I really cannot make it, and I fell sick. I fell sick, like really, maybe because I thinking so much and I got no one to turn in. I don't know who can help me. I just you know, I just depend on myself, that okay, I'm strong, I can, I know, like that. But in the end of the day, actually I'm a human being, and I fell very deep in my situation. I felt that kind of situation, like I cannot make it anymore, and I cannot, until I fell sick for 3 days. I don't know anything, like I just pass out in the moment when I hear, you know, my eldest daughter get pregnant. You know, wow, that was really the world like turning upside down, that I don't know what to do. So I have to let her marry with that man, and I going home. I like no hope, as I know that I can, never mind, I will really get you married with this man no matter what happened. So I let them married. The day after my daughter's party, I passed out for uh, 3 days, and I don't know anything, what's going on, what actually happening. I didn't know anything until 3 days I woke up, and I've been told by everyone around me that you actually pass out for 3 days and you don't know anything. And that journey bring me to meet up with Jesus personally. And got one man come in my house. I don't know whether he is a pastor or he is evangelist, I don't know. As I know, he came to my house, and he prayed for me. And you know guys, I cannot walk. After I woke up, I cannot walk anymore. Then by that time I have to come back to Singapore, you know, and I really cannot walk. And he just prayed, and he told me, you read the Bible. I don't know how many times, I think about 20 times he asking me to read the Bible. You read loud out. So like, huh? Like, you know, I'm a Christian, but I never been taught by my parents what is a Christian, what's Jesus. I don't know anything about that. And I got no Jesus, so I don't depend on him. I only know that I'm Christian, but I don't depend on him. So until that moment, that man come to my house and pray for me, and then that moment I meet up personally with Jesus, and then I realized how powerful he is and how great he is. And you know, I very amazed, and by his grace I can walk again. And in that moment I really surrender to him. And you know, I started to accept him as my savior, as my everything. And that journey is really very memorable for me. And how my daughter being free from drugs, and from smoking, and from you know, drinking. But good people, I will end my video here because it's too long. I will continue to the part 2 because it's so long. So people, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share my video if you like it. And follow my story to the part 2 because I cannot finish in one videos. It will take me, like, you know, part 2 maybe. So thank you people. I still wanted to tell the story how my daughter being free from drugs, from you know, smoking, and from drinking. So follow me guys, and thank you very much for your support. Thank you guys, and see you in the next videos. Bye.